And have you noticed that people don't quite know how to talk to each other? They don't know how to relate to the mailbox. Neighbors hate each other and they've never even met each other. And I can't tell you how many stories I hear that really are disturbing to me about people not getting along or connecting. So I innocently said to my friend, well, Mark and I are looking for the name of the disorder that is about people disconnection disorder. And she says, you mean autism? And I didn't, actually. She said, yeah, we have this epidemic of this mild form of autism that kids are getting incredibly. It's just Asperger's syndrome. It's just coming up left and right all over the place in our society. And I'm a little bit upset, I have to say. I got a little bit sad. And I started to really, as I'm starting to feel right now, a little choked up around that one. I have to say. What happened to our people? What's happened to us? What have we become? We're not connected to nature. We're not even connected to each other. And when I start to dig with people, I find out that they don't even know anymore if they're connected to themselves or anything real within themselves. And okay, so these are the things that are facing us and that nobody's talking about really. And we're looking at some tough times maybe coming our way, possibly, economically, environmentally, certainly challenging. We know that's happening. How are we going to be if the storm hits now? Where are we going to be as a people if the storm hits right now? This is what we're dealing with. I've joined forces with the permaculture movement in the last couple of years. I just want to, my hat's off to the permaculture movement for what they're doing in the world. And in America, permaculture is, until very recently, has been more of something you do because it's sort of recreational. You can do bird watching, you can do permaculture. But in other parts of the world, people do permaculture because they have to live. They have to feed their families. They have, they need to be alive. And permaculture is saving lives. And in other parts of the world where the environment has collapsed around them, usually because of some third-party meddling from some powerful political force, leaving land ripped and torn, and people's cultures destroyed. Permaculture is on the scene, saving lives. So it's a really powerful movement worldwide, and it's doing amazing things. And I'm proud to be alive with that movement. And working with the Regenerative Design Institute in California with Penny Livingston and James Stark has just been great. And the last 5 years have been amazing for me. Every week is a new, exciting moment. Something hopeful is happening. And I see the effect that Penny's permaculture skills are having on the land there, and the amount of food that's just pouring off the land, and the happy people that are around in that environment. And we're thinking about how do we get this nature connection, people connection thing to go big? Because I'm looking at it like this now. I don't know how much time we have, but I don't feel like we have a lot of time. And I'm looking at that baby back there, thinking about her, and I'm thinking about my 2-year-old at home. And I look at her, and I think about her, and I get a little bit worried in the early morning when I wake up. Are we going to do something now or not? So are we going to be able to make a difference in time? And we realize that we've got our hands full. And so I'm painting a little bit of a bleak picture, but it's not going to end bleak. Unless the microphone fails by the end there. What I see is we've started to go around the world and gather medicine. What does it mean to gather medicine? In light of all these pictures that I'm painting, a number of us are seeing the same things, and we're deeply concerned about these things. And if we could figure out what to do about it, we would tomorrow. We'd start it. But I now know something with 100% certainty. That the kids that Kathleen is working with, the occupational therapist, when she uses nature connection as a toolbox, Asperger's syndrome disappears. No drugs, nature. They connect to nature. The symptoms of Asperger's disappear, and the symptoms of nature deficit disorder disappear, and the kids, their self-esteem rises, their creativity rises, their problem-solving ability rises, they come alive, they're happy. Overall, their scores go up. So what does that tell you about nature connection? used to be that people would question us about the need for calcium in our diet. Now, you don't need calcium. I grew up in a time when, and maybe it's because I am from New Jersey, but where people around kind of made fun of you because you wanted to eat good, you know, like it has nothing to do with anything was the idea, you know. Coke was a staple after school, like when you came home you nurse yourself with a Twinkie and a Coke, and that's okay, you know, it's going to take you long into your elder years happy and healthy, right? No one questioned it. I wish they would come and pay my down bills now. You know, I wish I could go back and find them and give them my bill. But I can't. I don't even remember who they are because I don't have any brain cells left. There was a revolution, but I remember when this one man came into my natural foods restaurant that I opened in 1983. It was called the Owl and the Fiddler Natural Foods Restaurant in Redmond, New Jersey. Any customers in the room? Yeah. That was a great restaurant. Come on, Walker, you raise your hand. I know you came into that restaurant, didn't you? No. That was before he got into natural foods. So I had, for my clients, or whatever you want to call them, customers, regulars, what they were like the downtrodden nutritionists of our area, you know, and they had to like hide in the alley and kind of come in under the cover of darkness and slip in and be incognito in this restaurant because no people, and we were right, the hospital was a block away, so they were really definitely a bunch of people who were strong-willed because that's the only way they could survive in the political climate at that time. And they talked about things then that seemed revolutionary to me, but now are commonplace. Well, I live in California now, so that might be part of it. Like everybody seems to know what these guys knew. But what happened in the last couple of years? In that same time zone, maybe back 10 years earlier, back in the 60s and the 70s, people used to put a rubber belt on their butt, hooked to a machine, and it would go, and it would shake their butt, and that's how they got in shape. Okay? And that was advertised, and that was like accepted. That was what was normal. People thought, okay, that's great. Now, 24-hour fitness exists today. And think about the science that emerged and exploded since the day of the rubber belt butt machine to the present day, right? And think of the science that has exploded from those days to now about nutrition. And everybody knows nutrition matters now. Everybody knows that having physical fitness is good for you. If you do it or not, okay. But people know that now. They didn't not too long ago. They denied it. And I really honestly think 10 years from now, if we are still here as a species, people will say, nature connection? Of course. It's like calcium. It's like exercise. Everybody knows that. You need nature connection to be healthy. It's obvious. And that's what I know about nature connection. I know that it's going that way and it's going to go that way, that we need it for our health and our well-being. And it helps our spirits, it helps our mind, it helps our bodies, it helps our emotions. It even helps our soul. It helps us understand who we are and why we're on this earth as individuals and as species. Nature connection. So if you feel like nature connection makes it as important, raise your hand. I'm not trying to talk to you about it, but that's... Okay, so I went around the world and I talked to 9 different communities representing several hundred people who are community activists, permaculturists, and various people who are trying to do something in the face of the turmoil that we're in. Some are in Australia, some in South Africa, most in Europe and the US, and out on the Hawaiian Islands, which I know are part of the US, but not that you really notice when you're over there. But and Canada, we had some people up there too. And the conclusion that everybody reached was they agreed nature connection is essential.